Cruising down Manchester Street in my drop top, chillin' where you gotta keep the heat when the block hot. Cruising down Manchester Street in my drop top, chillin' where you gotta keep the heat when the block hot. Yeah, on the east side and the west side. Yeah, on the east side and the west side. Cruising down Manchester Street in my drop top, chillin' where you gotta keep the heat when the block hot. Crown in my head, I'm getting my.
What's good, y'all? It's your boy CMJ, man, bringing you another edition of Total Fandom. Thanks for stopping by, tapping into what we got going on. I am going to talk about some injury news and updates to start this off. This is not supposed to be up right now, but I hope you guys had a really good weekend. I did enjoy some NFL Preseason Week One action. I definitely had a lot of notes, a lot of takeaways. Not taking too much away though. It's NFL preseason. Don't get me wrong. But definitely some things that happened that I definitely whatever. Things happened, things took place. I got notes, I got thoughts. And yeah, I gotta get it out there. Reactions to what happened, and some first year and second year guys that I really am intrigued by what I saw with their usage, and quarterback competitions that I am excited to see and not so excited to see. Running back competitions that are shaping up to be a little more interesting than I thought before. So a lot to take away from the first week as far as hints and notes. And anyway, the injury news and updates that I will start with, I'm going to go through this really quickly. Jaden Reed, sprained foot, uncertain for week one. Okay. Packers wide receiver. Tajay Spears, running back for the Titans, out with a high ankle sprain, hopeful for week one. Okay, so it seems as if both those guys are not going to be playing at all in the preseason. Okay, I don't expect to see them. Rachaad White sustained a groin injury in the previous game. Okay, he's considered day-to-day now. Just got that update recently in the evening time. It is around 4 p.m. Pacific time. So yeah, I waited the whole day to record this. Tyreek Hill's got the oblique. He's still, I think he's day-to-day. I'm about to sneeze. He's missed the last few practices. I feel my sneeze coming, so forgive me when that happens. Family, no, I didn't mean to say that. So Tyreek Hill oblique. We'll check on his status in a little bit. I'll get back to you on that one. Not really worried about him. There are other things going on in Miami that I'm just down on the whole Dolphins anyway. So just putting the Tyreek Hill oblique out there for y'all to know about if you did. Matthew Stafford, quarterback for the Rams, did not practice today after being scheduled to practice. Sean McVay said he didn't feel good enough to go. So, and I'm paraphrasing that, I am still worried about the Rams receivers. Honestly, at this point, nothing would change my mind. Even if he was ready to go week one, I don't think there's anything that Matthew or McVay could say to make me feel better about the Rams receivers. I think there's like one guy that will be a value, or at least a league winner in this offense at the receiver position, and the possibility of there being two guys that can win you a league at that wide receiver position on the Rams. I think that's like null and void now. I think that's out of the window, out of the picture, because I don't think Stafford will play the whole season. He's already not practicing, and his practices are being pushed back, and he's not feeling good one day and feeling a little bit better the next day. And it's a back, man. It's a back, and he's 37, so he could land on it wrong. He could wake up and it could feel weird. It could feel tight. So there's too much high variance as far as that in that specific injury with me. And so him being the most crucial position on the field, him playing the most crucial position on the field, and wide receiver being so dependent, I really don't want to trust those guys, Puka or Devontae. I wouldn't take them in round 1 and 2. I'm not touching them. Yeah, that was pretty much it for the notable. I mean, Jordan Watkins, I just saw that, man. Jordan Watkins out with the out with the high ankle sprain, and he'll miss a month, so he's not playing anymore in the preseason. That little flash that we saw, that's it, Niners fans. That's it, man. That's all we got of Jordan Watkins, and because we didn't get any Jacob Cowing, so it would have been nice to see Jordan Watkins survive the preseason and show me something because I really don't. I mean, gosh, Jawan, it's just too much going on. Like what? I, okay, let me calm down. So anyway, yeah, Jordan Watkins is out. Hopefully, Jacob Collins will be back soon. The running backs are hurt. Jordan James had dislocated finger. I mean, Isaac Garendo with the shoulder. Are the starters gonna stay healthy? The backup's not even staying healthy. I mean, gosh, Ayuk's not even. We did get an update on Ayuk, which is, I mean, that's some positive news at least. I'll share that here with you right now. Actually, Niners head coach Kyle Shanahan estimated today to reporters that wide receiver Brandon Ayuk, who's recovering from a significant knee injury, could be back for Week 6, according to Shefty. Thank you. Um, the sooner the better. Like the sooner the better. The sooner the better. And even then, I'm still skeptical because he has to come back and perform and and ramp up. So if anything, I could see how you guys like I want to say 7th or 8th round value for me. I'm thinking of it in a 16 team PPR redraft sense. So forgive me. Maybe he'll probably go later. He should probably go later in a 10 or 12 team PPR league. In my opinion, maybe like his value should come down. Maybe like 8th or 9th round. He shouldn't go in the 10th or later. No, he'll be too valuable. Um, but in a 16 team league, I'll probably say like 7th or 8th for sure. I don't see him giving returning enough value to warrant 5 or 6. There's too many other guys going in those ranges for me. And then another. Oh, Anthony Richardson returned to practice on Saturday, so that was great. That was the last thing I really want to get out there before I turn to this. Oh, excuse me. Before I turn to this, to some kind of sort of to some concerning news. I'll say Landon Dickerson, who sustained to suffer that knee injury, a knee injury, I think in a joint practice. Either way, this injury that he suffered is a meniscus injury. That's what they called it at first. Like that's what was being reported, a meniscus injury, and it was very odd for me to see that because usually it's like, oh, torn meniscus. Like usually when I usually just see torn meniscus and excuse me, excuse me. I usually just see torn meniscus, and so when it said meniscus injury, I'm like, okay, so there's further evaluation to be done, but this sounds scary. Um, and then I saw this tweet. If it was, from David J. Chow from pro football.com, his name. I only just saw his name. I don't know why I didn't profootball.com. Meniscectomy trim, so means give or take 6 week injury. And then you still got to come back and perform. Meniscus repair, so full repair, 4 to 6 months. Whew, and that's scary. Um, I'm saying that's scary for him, obviously for Landon. Hope he gets better very soon. On God. Um, it's just the impact on Saquon Barkley, I think is going to be felt more. And all the pundits who are out there saying, "Oh, Saquon Barkley won't repeat. Saquon Barkley won't do this again." Like, don't get me wrong, he is an amazing talent. And I believe in Saquon, and I'm not on that train um, of thinking that he will have a down year. I just Landon Dickerson means so much to this offense and this running game that I think we have to consider Saquon not being as efficient of a rusher last year that he was last year, but maybe just a little bit better of a pass catcher, especially if this offense is going to be passing the ball more. So let me give you the the notes that I have on the Landon Dickerson uh numbers with Landon Dickerson with Saquon Barkley and the Eagles and without Landon Dickerson. I got 235 snaps with Landon and 91 snaps without. Um, the Eagles rush EPA, expected points added per 60 plays, is +6, and it drops to -7 with no Landon. Okay, so with and without Landon, with Landon is +6, without Landon is -7. That is a beyond significant drop. Team blown block percentage goes from 12.8 jumps from 12.8 to 21%. Yards before contact drops from 2.6 to 0.9. Yards per attempt goes from 5.7 to 3.6. And so I know Saquon is an otherworldly talent, but this Eagles offensive line is really the backbone of this team. And I don't want to discredit any Pro Bowl guard or tackle or offensive lineman just, oh yeah, they just replaced. Like, no, that's not how that works. So I really think we need to keep an eye on how this progresses. We did get this update from Shefty later. Best case scenario for the Eagles, Landon Dickerson will undergo what's being described as a minor procedure on the meniscus in his right knee in the coming days. Dickerson then will be considered week to week with the goal of returning for the Thursday night September 4 game against the Cowboys. I don't think he's coming back that soon. Honestly, I don't. I could see week 3, week 4. I could see that. I don't think the Eagles will be in that deep of a hole to be rushing Landon Dickerson back so early. But um, good news there. So that is good news long term. Like for the rest of the season, that's good news for Saquon and Landon and the Eagles. I just want people to know what Landon Dickerson means to this offensive line, to this team, to this run game, and to Saquon Barkley's fantasy numbers. If we're still going to be taking him in the first round. So yeah, that's it on Landon. I think as far as Jake Hughes, as far as the injury stuff goes, I think we're good there. If anything else pops up, I will definitely bring it back to the forefront of this and remind people that I missed something because I'm really good at missing stuff. But let's move on, shall we? So this weekend was fun. I did a little preseason betting because I mean, if it's just only right that I bet on the NFL. It just feels right, you know. To, missed it so much. I didn't take any kickers though. I didn't take any kickers. Took some unders. Geno Smith under 53.5 passing yards. He only played one series. That was great. But the Patrick Mahomes over 44.5 passing yards. I felt like I felt like that line was too low for Patrick Mahomes. I felt like he might play like maybe 2 series. Then he came in and threw for 1 yard, one pass for 1 yard. Yeah, that blew me. Um, but other than that, honestly, it was fun. Trevor Lawrence went under his passing yards. Like this starter's not playing full snaps. Come on, y'all. Starter's barely playing 2 snaps. I mean, 2 series. Especially in that first game. Who else did I have fun with? Oh, the Shadeur Sanders. Speaking of Shadeur, the I don't even want to talk about it. Like his the I listen the Shadeur line I took it hit, but it was just so much to take away from that Browns and Panthers game that the Shadeur definitely stole the show in my opinion this weekend for sure. He's one of my winners for sure. And going trying to that was an awful segue into my winners and losers. So please forgive me. But yeah, definitely one of the biggest, if not the biggest winner from this weekend is Shadeur. I don't care what the Browns depth chart says today that he's still the 4th quarterback on the depth chart. I have so many things that I need to ask the Cleveland Browns. I have so many questions now. But I'll come back to Shadeur. I will. But let me talk to you real quick. Trevion Henderson is one of those winners for me, and for me just winning because he's shown that yeah, Ramondre Stevenson and Antonio Gibson, Trevion, they can all really pretty much do the same things. Like to me, in my opinion, catch the ball and run the ball out of that backfield. I think Ramondre is probably the better runner between the tackles, but he has a fumbling problem. And on top of that, yeah, they can all do the same thing, as far as catching the ball out of the backfield. But Trevion clearly is the most explosive. It's not even a competition. I love Antonio Gibson. This is not a competition. Like Trevion Henderson will probably lead the backfield in receptions, and I'm comfortable saying that. I just I just worry if he leads the backfield in touchdowns, but I'm leaning that way. I am. I don't think he should be going in the 3rd round or 4th round yet, though. Y'all gotta calm down. I saw his ADP jump this week, so I'm pumping the brakes a little bit because I still think like Antonio Gibson could be a factor if Ramondre Stevenson goes down. Um, and then you still got Diggs who didn't play. Still got Hunter Henry. Still got other Still got Drake May running the ball, so we still got to worry about that. Where I'd say Travion Henderson was rightfully going in that fifth round range. Fifth round in 16 team PPR. I want to say sixth or seventh round in 10 to 12 PPR. So yeah, I'm okay with that. But he definitely looked great. He had the 100-yard kick return for a touchdown. He did have the one carry, but that was for 18 yards. So like I said, explosiveness was on display for Travion Henderson. I'm still worried about the committee, but yeah, it was fun. Another winner, Giants faithful. I'll give it to y'all. Y'all a winner, okay? And I'm saying it for these reasons alone. Quarter I'm at on the camera. Quarterback competency in the like okay. Competent like what this how do I point to it? Oh, like that. Oh, not cool. Wait. Okay, forget it. Competency in the quarterback room finally. Yeah, if Russ goes down or if he's pulled, you still got Jameis, and we love Jameis. Honestly, I'm not gonna say a bad thing about Jameis Winston. I refuse. Um, and then Jaxson Dart showed out. Like, yeah, Shadeur put on the show, but the Jaxson Dart was not to be forgotten for sure. I think he had like what 154 yards. Yeah, here we go. 12 for 19, 154 yards, three carries, 24 yards, a passing touchdown. Looked potent. He looked potent. That's what I like to see from a young quarterback that's taken really, I mean, taking that high in the draft, taking really high, taking that high in the draft, first round talent. Um, so yeah, quarterback competency and the youth on the defensive line and the ferocity that we saw on those couple of drives with Abdul Carter mixing in and out, um, mixing inside and outside, getting three pressures in two series. I think he played what 6 or 7 snaps. I think it was 6. That's so promising. That is so promising. Browns, the Giants invested so much into this defense, not just with Carter, but with Kayvon Thibodeau being a top 5 pick from a couple of years ago, and even Brian Burns, who they traded for. I think they traded 2 first-round picks, and then they paid him. They extended him. This might be the scariest defensive line in the NFC. And I'm really not even saying that to be funny. I love my 49ers defensive line, but this is something to be afraid of for sure. And so, yeah, like I said, one of the winners, Giants faithful. You got a very scary young defensive line. You have a competent quarterback room. You have an outstanding elite superstar wide receiver in Malik Neighbors. And I'm a believer in Theo Johnson personally. So I think that you have talent all over the place. Wendell Robinson has shown he can be a reliable slot receiver. Dude, who finishes last place in the NFC East this year? Like, who actually finished? Are we confident the Giants finished last place in the NFC East? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. So that was fun. That was fun. That was fun. Another winner. No more winners. I have a loser. I have a few losers, and I'll be quick about this. Anthony Richardson, loser. You get hurt. First things first. You missed the blitz. Like you slide the protection and you missed the blitz. I don't understand how you slide protection and you just don't check your weak side. Well, the weak side of the protection. Like you don't even feel. I went over that in the last video. I literally went over that in the last video. Even if I'm so sorry to compare to this, but if you know football or if you play Madden and you feel like you know football and you walk up to your line, you play in the game and you're like, okay, I feel like I'm slide protection. You're not gonna look right at least. You hike the ball and the where you feel the pressure coming from backs off. You don't look the other way. It's just okay. Anyway, yeah, loser for me. You miss out on crucial snaps with the team, and now you got to come in behind Daniel Jones in the second preseason game and finish the first half for him. And so it just when you lose valuable playing reps like that, incurring injuries that and I know it's not the same injuries, but you've had a history, Anthony Richardson, of being injured and not being able to process the game fully, or at least to the level that this team needs you to, especially in that moment right there. It just and it leading to an injury. It's just a setback. It's just a setback. But like I also said in the video, I still believe in Anthony Richardson, and I'm not off the train. It's just a setback, and we need to see him get those game reps so he can. Yeah, you live and you learn, but goddamn, you got to be on the field to live. You got to live to learn. But anyway, So Anthony Richardson, loser. Dolphins backfield, loser. Oh my God. Loser, 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 loser. I don't care. H-Chan, loser. Jalen Wright, loser. Ollie Gordon. Why am I calling H-Chan a loser? Not only did Tyreek Hill basically call you not a 3 down guy, basically not a top 5 running back. He didn't even, bro, your own best player didn't endorse you. But then you sitting on the sideline, you watching your backups go out there, and you watching this offensive line just get manhandled. You get to the goal line, and Jalen Wright gets stuffed every single time. I mean, I think he eventually got in. I mean, oh, Alexander Madison season-ending neck surgery. I did forget that. So yeah, Alexander Madison is out, and Dolphins are bringing in Jamal Williams for a workout. Hopefully, please don't sign Jamal Williams for my sake, for my dynasty team's sake, my Jalen Wright, because I don't. Oh my God, excuse me. I'm gonna cut that out. The only reason why I'm still holding on to Jalen Wright is because I wrongfully invested a second round pick into him in dynasty a couple years ago, and um this Madison injury is opening the door for that. But also, like, I don't believe in Devon Achane like that. And Tyreek Hill called Jalen Wright more of a goal line back. Honestly, I watched those plays at the goal line. You can say whatever you want about Jalen Wright, but the offensive line just got bullied. Like they got penetrated on pretty much every one of those plays. Jalen Wright had nowhere to go. There are like maybe 3 backs in the league where you hike the ball, someone meet you in the backfield, and you're gonna be able to make a move and still get to the like, get to the line of scrimmage, let alone gain yards or get the touchdown. Handful of backs, if that. So Dolphins offensive line, Dolphins backfield, losers, losers, losers. Yes, this team probably is going to be passing the ball more, but I don't see Achan getting. I don't see Achan getting. If his line is set at like 4.5 receptions, that's going to be too high for me. Maybe he gets 4 catches a game, 4 or 5 catches a game, and that's where it sits. I don't see him getting that high volume though. Wait, 4 or 5 catches. That's actually really good. That's actually really good. I just don't see the same volume. I don't see the same volume, and I don't see the same touchdown equity, especially if one, he's not the goal line back, and two, this offensive line can't even open up holes for them. So I'm still down. I don't even care if it's 4 or 5 catches a game. Still down. Don't see it. He will not score double-digit touchdowns this year. Next, offensive line was subpar, no clear H-N handcuff. There is no clear H-N handcuff. Saints fans, losers. All 3 of your quarterbacks play like I'm not gonna curse today. They played so bad. They played so bad. I like they it not awful to the point where like you couldn't watch the game, but just to the point where it was like, is there no hope? Like, is there no hope? Like Spencer Rattler, you spent the year in this system and you could give me more than 53 yards on a quarter, basically almost 2 quarters of play. Tyler Shug, you come in, you lead a 2-minute offense, great, but then you come in third quarter and you throw an awful interception. My gosh, aren't you supposed to be like the most experienced and polished? Like, man, Jake Hayner, don't even get me started. So yeah, I'm Saints quarterbacks, Saints fans, y'all losers. Sorry, y'all don't have a clear future, and y'all defense is going to be really bad, really bad. Um, Marvin Harrison Jr. I'm not gonna call him a loser, but he's falling. He's gonna fall just maybe about like half a round or a round for me because I don't I'm starting to be out on Kyler Murray. I'm starting to be out on Kyler Murray. I don't. How are you like almost a decade into the league and you still getting nervous in a preseason game? I don't know. I'm not or antsy or whatever you want to call it. I'm paraphrasing. I'm not buying it. I'm not in. I'm not that in. I'm no. I'm. I guess you could say I'm on the fence, but if I had my choice, if it was the third round, let's call it. I don't even care. 10 to 16 team here, PPR league. I'm just gonna stay in that range. If I get to the third round and it's my choice between Marvin Harrison or Tedero McMillan or DK Metcalf, I'm going Tedero McMillan, who also had to me, a really sound opening weekend. Um, him and Bryce Young really had a sound opening weekend. Not sound. It was. I don't want to say impressive. It was good. They showed chemistry, which is something I wanted to see for sure. Especially on, I wanted to see Bryce Young's confidence in the chemistry as well, which I definitely saw. With 3 targets, he had 3 or 4 targets. One was in the end zone that McMillan dropped. He said that was on him, or you could see that he was on. He pointed to Bryce, and he knew that Bryce was on time with that, and McMillan has to come out of his cut a little faster than that and be ready for the ball. But honestly, if they're looking to make plays like that, that's really exciting to see. Oh, Tedero McMillan, I might draft him in the 3rd round. I'm saying it right here. I'm not scared to say it. Like, I don't care if my league mates watch this, man. I ain't worried about y'all, man. I does this anyway. That's really it for the losers. I guess you can call Tony Pollard a winner by default since Spears will be out for a couple of weeks. But I guess if anything, Pollard will move up ADPs, so he'll be a riser more than a winner. Um, which I don't do rankings, but I do look at Fantasy Pros rankings pretty much every day. I definitely take that into account when I make my draft decisions and whatnot. Um, okay. I did forget to talk about Travis Hunter. That's another one of the polarizing players from this weekend. He played 10 snaps on offense, 8 on defense. He had 2 receptions for 9 yards. He had the one missed tackle. Everyone talks about that one missed tackle, blah, blah, blah. Here's my thing on Travis. If he plays, where's my number? Where's my number? If he plays 25% on defense, I can buy into him in the I can buy a 5th round ADP. I can buy a 5th round ADP. I can't buy where he is now. I think he's going in the 4th. I can't do it though. I just don't trust it. But here's my thing: if the Jaguars deploy him primarily out of the slot and to be a chain mover, I can buy in. And if the defense, like if the DC is going to use him in obvious passing situations, that I think is the most ideal scenario from a fantasy manager's perspective. If you're going to invest into Travis Hunter at any point in the draft, chain mover on offense, primarily out of the slot. I guess he can work. I'm cool with him working in the 2 wide receiver sets. That's fine. But chain mover, because we want that PPR. And then on defense, just work in the nickel dime sub package. Just work in the passing defenses. And I'm sorry, I would not play him at the line. I would not play him at the line, or at least not. I just not in a position to where he could be compromised physically against someone like a Derrick Henry or a Jonathan Taylor. I'm good. So yeah, I'm a little mixed. I'm mixed feelings. Liked what I saw. Don't get me wrong. Like, loved seeing him play both sides. That's unique. Uh, but mixed feelings in got us. I just want to see towards the beginning of the season how they start actually divvying up those percentages on offense and defense, because I don't trust the Jaguars. Speaking of Jaguars, y'all was talking all that smack about Tang Bigsby, with the ones, and Travis Etienne he gonna be out of there. And who got the run with the ones? It was Travis. He was in there the whole time that Trevor Lawrence was in there, was he not? So yeah, that's a development. We'll see next week if Tank Bigsby gets time with the ones in the week 2 preseason game. But for right now, I feel good about Travis Etienne. I feel good about him being a mid to late round value at running back, someone you could pop into the flex. And I'm glad to see that this coaching staff that inherited Travis and drafted Tootin is not necessarily giving up on Travis just yet. Yeah. Am I missing something? Cameron Ward looked okay, 5 for 8, 67 yards, but the Ridley Ward connection is looking promising. So really going in that fifth round, fourth round range, I'm okay with that. Love him. Uh, I talked about Carter and Dart. Caleb Johnson didn't really impress me like that. I won't get into Caleb. I'll save that for my boy Makai later. Saints quarterbacks look mid. I said that already, and I will. I think the last thing I want to touch on, and then I'm gonna get it. And then I'm gonna get out of here. Last thing I'll touch on, let you guys go, and then I'll come back and record another episode this evening with a mock draft based on what I've done here. Based on these developments, Shadeur Sanders, he stole the show. I mentioned that earlier. This this in this episode, he stole the show this weekend. He was pretty much the talk. Like I don't get me wrong, Jaxson Dart was great. Um, Shadeur McMillan looked great. Abdul Carter looked great. Travis Hunter looked great. Everyone looked pretty good. But the way Shadeur looked was fun. It was fun. Like it was like 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 also I'm watching the game. I'm like, bro, this man looks like he looks poised, composed, like calm, like in command, the pocket presence, the command of the pocket. Like it was fun to watch. I'm not gonna lie. And you could see on some plays where he was trying to do too much. Uh, I think that's really just him trying to see what he can get away with. Which you honestly, I don't mind that with a rookie quarterback. You need to know what your limits are in the NFL and how you can overcome them or surpass them. But you need to know what you can and can't do. So, yeah, Shadeur played outside of like a couple of error throws and the sack that he took, or a sack that he almost took on a 4th and 2 or something like that, where he was like rolling backward. I don't get out anyway. He looked really good. I do have his numbers right here. Is this play the biggest week one story? Probably. Finished 14 to 23, 138 yards. Play halfway through the third quarter, which I honestly was not. I was not expecting that as a man who realistically went into the game and took the under on his 146 and a half passing yards on sleeper. I was fully confident he wasn't playing past the second half. I mean, for past the second quarter. Like I was so confident in that. I was so confident that I was still confident in the 123 and a half yards it opened up as taking the under. I was like, yeah, he's not getting past. And he ended the first half with 103 yards. I'm like, all right, cool, cool, cool. Come back out in the second half, this man is still playing. I'm like, what? I was so hurt. The 123 he went over, but the 146 he stayed under. So I'm like, yeah, that was way too high. It's preseason. Let's calm down. But he had the ability to do whatever he wanted. He did have 19 yards rushing on 4 carries. The second and 12 touch pass from the Carolina 38. That was peak Shadeur Sanders. Like that's what you want to see. Rolled out, found some directed traffic and touch. I mean, it was great. It was great. I really think he could end up being the future of the franchise. My thing is though, with this whole quarterback battle, and you see what happened when he got in the game. I don't understand. What are you actually seeing from Dylan Gabriel to be like, yeah, we're not gonna give Shadeur any first team reps at all? Because after a performance like this in the preseason, albeit against second and third stringers, you can't tell me what does Dylan Gabriel look like? Please get him on the field so I can see what y'all see. And why that Shadeur still on the depth chart as the number 4. Let me see some Dylan Gabriel. I gotta see it. Because I'm just not sure the Browns are going to end up making the right decision in the long run. I don't think, yeah, sure. If Joe Flacco starts the season, cool. I don't think he should be playing majority of the season. I don't even think Joe Flacco should play half the season. At some point, these rookies got to get in there and play and get the reps. We know what happens when you don't get the reps, you don't get the development. I want to know what Dylan Gabriel looks like and how, up until this point, he's been playing so much better or practicing so much better than Shadeur that Shadeur hasn't been able to earn first team reps. I think after a game like that, after a performance like this, and no turnovers. No turnovers. I watched the game. No pre-snap penalties. There's no way you can't get him first team reps. There's no way at this point, especially if you know Flacco's not the future. There's no way. It's just, and it will be egregious if we finish this week, we go into week 2 of preseason, and we still read reports that Shadeur has got no first team reps. He has to get it at this point. And so, how much we see him play in the second preseason game, I'm gonna feel like he's gonna play. I feel like he's gonna play another half if we get Dylan Gabriel to play. So happy for Shadeur. Happy for Shadeur. I am, like, came out and ball, poised, composed. Like, I mean, I'm not a Browns fan, and I felt, what was that? I'm not a Browns fan, and I felt really comfortable watching him play. I felt like, bro, can I come around on the Browns receiving core in fantasy? Because I was out. I didn't want no Jerry Judy. I don't care if Joe Flacco played. I don't want Jerry Judy and Joku. I don't want nobody. But I can come around. I can if Shadeur gonna play, or at least if Shadeur's gonna back him up and be the floor for the Browns receivers. If the Browns have a solid floor as a pass catching group, I can buy in, or I can come around and start considering it at least. Let me not say buy in because that's too strong, but I can come around and start considering Browns receivers. Okay. Um, so that's pretty much it. I will get up out of here. There was some, I did have some, like I said, I had some fun betting on some preseason NFL lines. I posted them on Total Fandom TV on X. So follow me on Twitter, X, whatever y'all want to call it. I will be posting preseason week 2 lines. I'll be a little more aggressive with the lines that I post this weekend just to get the ball rolling for the regular season. Like, it was fun. The first set of lines that we posted was Anthony Richardson over 71.5 yards. I had a whole video about it. The last video, he would have went over the line, in my opinion, if he would have played the whole first half like he was slated to play, or at least a quarter and a half like he was slated to play, because the other two quarterbacks blasted that line. And then the other quarter, I forgot the other line. Oh, how could I be so? Just check out Total Fandom TV on X. We had some plays that hit. The Anthony Richardson injury, and Sleeper didn't void that, which I'm not mad about. They didn't void it, but it was a 2-man play. It was Anthony Richardson. Who else? I forget, but it would have cashed. So the next day we doubled back, and we went under on Geno Smith passing yards, over on Jalen Milroe rushing yards. That was a good day. The play of the day was the under on the Shadeur Sanders passing yard. So yeah, I like to do some in-depth analysis before I post the plays, and I won't post too much. That's what I did. That's why I didn't post too much on this past weekend. But this upcoming weekend, I will post at least one play for each day of games. I will post at least one play, or at least one parlay for each play game. So at least a 2-man parlay for each day of games I will post for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Boom. Stay tuned. I will have that for you. Appreciate y'all for tapping into Total Fandom. Subscribe, leave a comment, let me know what you think. I definitely will have another mock draft out for you guys as we get ready for the season. I will have Makai on, I'll have Dasher on, we'll chop it up, we'll talk football. I'll have some more in-depth knowledge for you guys, and like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Stay tuned for the next episode, and peace out.